What up, boss babes? It's Kristen with Luxbook, and today we're going to talk about how you can utilize your iPad and Apple Pencil for school. Now, if you don't, or you're thinking about getting an iPad for school and at the Apple Pencil, I highly suggest it. I highly suggest trying it or going to the Apple store, seeing how you like the flow of the pen, because I'm telling you, this, my senior year, was a game changer, and I'm going to show you everything that I learned. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is how to set up a notebook, a digital notebook. And I have this notebook in GoodNotes. This is a notebook that I offer in my Etsy shop. If you don't know about GoodNotes, I suggest going and watching my GoodNotes for Beginners video first, so you can kind of get an idea of exactly what GoodNotes is. But I have this notebook in GoodNotes, and I'm going to show you how I would set it up when I was in school. So first, let me show you the notebook. And this notebook comes in black and pink, and then it comes in all pink. This is the cover, and this is the contents page. Now this notebook comes with 12 customizable dividers, so you label the dividers yourself and the contents yourself. So for example, this is number 1, it goes to divider number 1. Contents divider number 2, and it goes to divider number 2, and so on. That's how it works. And then let me show you real quick. On every page, you can go to your dividers 1 through 12, and then you can go to your templates catalog on any page by clicking the plus sign to add a page, or you can go home by pressing the home icon. That goes back to the contents page. So let's talk about the template catalog. So if you hit the plus sign on any page, it goes to the template catalog, and this is what that looks like. So these are the templates that come with the planner. So just like a binder, like a paper binder, you'll take these templates, copy them, and then paste them behind the dividers you want, just like a paper binder. You know how you have your dividers and then you put the papers. That's how you organize them. You put the papers behind the dividers. That's exactly how you set this up too. So these are the templates that come with it. They can be copied and pasted as many times as you need. And let's talk about the academic templates. Well, actually, we have your academic templates, your notes templates, your productivity templates, and your basic templates. And you know what I'm going to do? And you can click any of these to jump to them, but we're just going to start at the assignment checker, the very first template, and we're just going to scroll through. So this will be black in your notebook, but it's pink on here, but it will be black for the black notebook, this bar. But this is what the grid page looks like. I love it because if you are one of those people who like to post your notes, or you like your notes to look really good, you can barely see this grid until you zoom in to write, or when you use the zoom tool to write. Let me show you. So you can barely see it here, but if we use the zoom tool, almost forgot how to use the zoom tool, right here, now you can see it. And then the line page is like that as well. You have the dotted page and then the line page. See the lines? But when you zoom out, you can't really see them. I really like that. And then we have a blank page, and then we have some extra colors of covers as well. And then it goes straight into help. So those are the templates that come with the notebook. You can also access your template catalog from the contents page. You can access a quick notes page. So this is just something if you need to jot down a quick note, reminders, make a list. Oops. And then you can also hit the question mark to go to the help pages, and then this closes the planner. So that's how the planner is laid out. Let me show you how I would do it when I was in school. And I already filled one of these out, so I can just show you an example. So this is how I would fill out my notebooks. Of course, I'd put my name, the class the notebook was for, and then the year. And then I would do student information, my assignments. I would make a divider for my syllabus. I would make a divider for all the exams that I would have for that class. my final exam, of course, and then any papers or projects, handouts, and then miscellaneous. So that is how I would fill this out. So, and this is the pink version of this notebook. So this is the student information divider, and I would have all of my student information behind here, or my class schedule, anything like that would be behind this divider. And this notebook, this pink one, I'm just showing you an example how you could decorate it. These stickers, these are stickers. The notebook doesn't look like that. Here's what the divider would look like when you get it. Just like that. I just wanted to show you that, you know, you can make this cute and put some stickers on there. That would be really cute. So that's how that would be. And then my assignments, all my assignments would go here, and I could track my grades behind that divider, and so on. So exam 1, anything that I would need to study for exam 1, all of my notes, all of my handouts for exam 1, anything I would need to study for exam 1 would be behind the exam 1 divider. And then the same thing goes for exam 2, exam 4, and final. My paper, anything I need for my paper, so my research notes, a project, I'll have things like my project planner behind there, and then miscellaneous. So that's how I would set this planner up, or not planner, this is how I'd set this notebook up, just like that. And then I would go to the templates section, say I was about to start class and I needed to take notes. So what I would do is I would go to my grid, because I like using a grid, so I would choose that. I would hit the 3 dots, I would hit copy page, and let's say we're studying for exam 1, and then I would hit the plus page, paste page, and then I would start taking notes. And because it was for exam 1, it would go behind the exam 1 divider. I just want to say real quick before I go any further, if you are thinking about getting an iPad for school, do not think that you have to have the most expensive iPad. They have very affordable ones now that work just fine. Just make sure you get enough storage, and make sure it's Apple Pencil compatible, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so let's talk about how to utilize photos in your notes. So let's say this was Anatomy 101. What I love about this is, say we're going over, you know, parts of the brain, or we have to memorize the anatomy of a brain. We can just go to Safari, Google anatomy of the brain, and then let's just pick a photo. So we're in the photos, and we can save one of these photos and add them to our notes. So let's say this one. This one looks pretty. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Let's add to photos. And then I can go right into my notes and add the photo that we were looking at, that we wanted. And now I have the anatomy of the brain in my notes. Isn't that neat? And I can move it over here. I can mark it up. I can highlight. So let's say I need to remember this for sure. Highlight it, remember that. Remember this. I can come in here and I can make little notes. So let's just say, oop, too big. Let's just say I need to put note, and then I'll put a little arrow, like you can just add photos into your notes, and it's that simple. And you can also turn your screen sideways and drag and drop them. You don't even have to save them to your photos. That is amazing. I remember using that all the time in school. Another thing that you can do as far as photos, I used to rent my books on Amazon, and I would use the Kindle app. And that's, if you have Amazon Prime, you get the Kindle app and you can rent books. Here's one of my books I used. And let's just say, for example, let's find a page. Well, I was looking for one of those little information boxes. Ooh, let's say this is important to me. And I need this for the test, right? I can just screenshot that and then add that into my notes as well. I'm going to crop it down. And this diagram is now in my notes. I love that. That helped me so much in school. Just the fact that you can screenshot things and add them in. Let's see. Another way you can utilize photos is by taking screenshots of what you need. So let's say we have a research paper, right? And you guys know doing research is so tedious. It's so long. These journal articles are like 57 pages and you only need pieces of it. So this is how I would organize my research. So here's the research notes template. And what I would do is I would go through journal articles, and I pulled this up on Safari. It's, how to use good notes. Let's pretend it's just an academic journal. And let's say that I need this part I want this part. What is good notes? I need that part to support my paper. So I'm gonna grab that, screenshot of that. Let's see, what else? Let's say this little creating your first notebook. I also need that with that photo, would be nice for my paper. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into GoodNotes to my research notes. And what I would do is I would put, this is how to use GoodNotes. That's the topic of my paper. I'll probably just put GoodNotes. I would put the citation there, go ahead and get all that out of the way. And then I would go ahead and add these screenshots to my notes. So I needed that part. And I need this, what is GoodNotes. So all this is gonna help me in my thesis and whatever I'm claiming. So I'm gonna do that, and let's say out of these parts I can just highlight. Look how easy this is. I'm just flowing through it, you guys. You cannot do this with paper. There, and let's say this is important, and let's say whatever's highlighted in blue, I could even make like a little key over here. So whatever's highlighted in blue would be great for my introduction, and then whatever parts in pink would be great for my claim number 1 or the body of the text, you know. And I can make a little key. I can move this around, put my key up there, and that way I remember, like, oh yeah, I wanted to use that in my introduction, or oh yeah, I wanted to use that in the first claim I'm making in my paper. And I mean, I can't even. Technology is so crazy, you guys. That's so helpful. I don't even think you guys realize how helpful that is until you do it, and then you'll be like, oh snap, this is dope. Another thing I love about the iPad is I can turn my iPad sideways, and I can have my book open on one side or the internet or whatever, and I can take notes and read at the same time. How dope is that? I love that. And so when you're in class, you can have your notes open on this side. You can have the PowerPoint slides open on this side, whatever you want. Ooh, PowerPoint slides. That's another thing I used to do. A lot of my instructors, they used to use PowerPoint, and they would take notes right off the PowerPoint slides. So what I would do is before class, I would download the PowerPoints, right, as a PDF and import them into my planner, or you can take screenshots of the slides, and then so you can take notes right on the PowerPoint slide. Another awesome part about using an iPad is if your teacher has a handout or anything like that, you can scan them on your iPad and then put them right into your notebook. And I'm going to show you me doing this right now. So what you want to do is open the Notes app and then hit the photo button and hit Scan Document. And then it's going to automatically want to take the photo for you and scan your document. It usually does a much better job than this, but it's better if you do it on a dark surface. And then you can adjust the corners if you need to. And then after you get it the way you like it, you just hit Keep Scan there at the bottom. And then you're going to hit Save. And then you're going to go to the Share icon at the top. And then choose Copy to GoodNotes. And then import to the current document or wherever you need to import it, and there you go. And now it's a page in your notebook. Another tip I have for you is, just in case for some reason, which rarely ever happens, but just in case, you know how you have exam 1 and you're on exam 1 and everything you need to study for that exam is behind the exam 1 divider, right? I would, just in case, take screenshots of everything you need for exam 1 until you take the test, just in case, so you have those notes if anything did happen. I just wanted to put that out there because technology is technology and you just want to be safe, and screenshots are the best way to go. So if you have 10 pages of notes, just, take a screenshot of it so it's there, it's safe, it's safe. So my number 1 tip for studying, and you guys, I graduated with a 4.0. Yay me. I can't believe it because I really was not good at high school. But what I was going to say was my number 1 study tip is utilize your voice recorder, you guys. All your phones, you can get the voice recorder for the iPad. Utilize that voice recorder. And what I mean by that is 2 things, okay? 1, if your teacher is going over what's going to be on the exam for next week, you need to video record that. I had this one teacher or professor. I had one professor who would basically go over everything that was going to be on the exam, right? And here was everybody like taking notes, going crazy, like trying to keep up with her, and she would not repeat herself. If you missed it, you missed it, right? So they were going crazy, trying to take us notes as fast as they can. Meanwhile, I just had my phone on the table recording everything, and I wasn't worried about it, because I had it all on voice record, and then I would go home and then take notes on what she said. That way I could rewind it if I needed to, I could pause it, I could turn it up, and that's the one thing. And the second way to use your voice recorder is, you guys, listen to me right now. If you don't already do this, make a study guide. Make a study guide. If you know about what's going to be on that test, you know the main points that you need to know for the exam, right? You need to make a study guide. And then after you make the study guide, write it all out, make the study guide, and then use your voice recorder to record yourself reading that study guide back to you. Quiz yourself. So for example, I would be on my voice recorder and say, I would make a study guide with questions, right? Like flashcards. We'll get to flashcards in a minute. But like flashcards, I would say 1 + 1 is, and then I'd pause and give myself a chance to answer. Meanwhile, remember, I'm recording this on my voice recorder. And then when I'm in my car, when I'm working out, when I'm doing the dishes, cleaning house, I can replay that back in my head. So even though I don't have time to sit down and study, I'm still studying. I'm replaying that voice recorder back. 1 + 1 is 2. And then I would say 2 on the voice recorder, so that I can answer myself and I can quiz myself throughout the day when I don't have time to sit down and read. That is my number one tip for studying. And I know that doesn't have anything to do with digital planning or note taking, but seriously, you guys got to try it. And definitely listen to that recording on your way to the exam, in the car on the way to the exam. All right, y'all, another way you can utilize your iPad is digital flashcards. You guys, flashcards are not just for little kids. Flashcards help a lot. And I have these in my Etsy shop. These are just regular flashcards, and this is the cover. Here's the front flash of the flashcard. To see the back, swipe. See the next one, front, back. I had hyperlink flashcards when I was in school, but I didn't like them. It got confusing to me for some reason. I couldn't figure out if I hit the word back, was it on the back or am I going to the back? Like, you know what I mean? So I just like the swipe. It's simple. It's laid out simply. And it has a little spot right here so you can check it there if you got the question right, or hit it there if you got it wrong, and you can go back and redo the ones that you got right and wrong. Real quick, I also want to talk about textbooks as PDFs, because if you can find your textbook as a PDF, you can upload that into GoodNotes, and you can have that in GoodNotes, and you can write in the margins, you can, copy and paste, you can whatever you want, add stickers to it, add pages to your textbook. So that's just an option. I've done that before and it worked out pretty good. Well, you guys, I think that about wraps it up. I'm trying to think of other things that I utilized, ways to utilize your iPad. I'm sure there are many ways, especially for certain classes or certain subjects. There are all kinds of awesome apps out there. I know I took an astronomy class because I needed a second science, and there were some awesome astronomy apps. If you still have to take math classes, there are some amazing math apps, but those are just some of the things that I can remember off the top of my head that I did to study, and how I used my iPad to take notes, and how I set that all up. I hope this was helpful for someone. If you have any more study tips or iPad tips, leave them in the comment section below and just help another student out. I know I'm missing a lot and I just can't remember right now exactly what it is. I'll think of it later and be like, oh, dang, I should have said that on the video. But I love you guys so much. Happy planning, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't